Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're tackling what has to be one of the biggest challenges in professional AV. How do you get a perfect high-speed 4K signal from one side of a building to the other? I mean, we're talking 50, even 100 meters, maybe through a really noisy server room or some tiny packed conduit.
That is the mission today. And our sources are all focused on one specific solution. The DVIGear DVI-2550-AOC HDMI active optical cable. They call it the Hyperlight AOC. So this is really about a technology that lets you put your equipment wherever you want without being limited by cable distance. We're talking up to 100 meters, that's 328 feet, with, and this is key, zero signal degradation.
Okay, so let's unpack that. When you say 100 meters, I mean a standard copper cable just gives up long before that. What's the secret sauce here? What makes this active optical?
Well, what's so fascinating is they didn't just try to make a better copper wire, they changed the medium entirely. It's a hybrid cable. Yeah, it combines 4 strands of POF, that's polyfluorinated optical fiber for all the heavy lifting, the actual video stream. And then it has 6 regular copper wires for things like control signals and power.
So that split is what allows it to hit the full HDMI 2.0 spec. We're talking data rates up to 18 gigabits per second. Why is that 18 Gbps number so important for people to understand?
It matters because that's what gets you the absolute highest quality video. We're talking 4K resolution at 60 frames per second with 4.4.4 color.
No compression.
Exactly. If you're doing something like medical imaging or detailed financial charts or, color grading video, you need that perfect uncompressed color. These cables deliver it, and they're fully HDCP 2.2 compliant for content protection.
And crucially, they don't add a ton of complexity. I know a lot of active cables need their own power bricks, which can be a real headache to install.
Right. And that really just comes down to efficiency. These Hyperlight cables use an incredibly small amount of power, less than 1/4 of a watt. So in almost every case, they just draw that tiny bit of power directly from the HDMI source device itself.
So no need to find an outlet 50 meters away.
Not at all. It saves a ton of time and simplifies the whole installation.
Yeah.
And if we connect that to the bigger picture, these cables really shine in those sensitive, mission-critical environments.
Oh, right. The optical advantage. I'm guessing if you're running cable past, I don't know, elevator motors or heavy electrical gear, a copper cable is just going to get noisy.
It absolutely will. A traditional copper cable basically acts like a giant antenna, picking up all that RFI and EMI radio frequency and electromagnetic interference. But because the video here is literally traveling as light over cyber, these Hyperlight cables are just immune to all that environmental noise. It's also why they're great for secure facilities where you can't have any electromagnetic leakage.
And speaking of that, the sources mentioned it's TAA compliant and UL-CMP-OF, so it's plenum rated. For anyone new to this, why are those acronyms a really big deal?
Didn't you or break a whole project. TAA compliant means it's approved for use in, say, government or military contracts. And the UL plenum rating is all about fire safety.
Ah.
If you run a cable through an air handling space, the plenum, and it's not rated for that, you'll fail your fire inspection. You'd have to rip it all out. So it's about doing it right and doing it safely the first time.
Okay, this is where I thought the design got really clever. The installation, you've got this high-tech fiber optic cable. Isn't it going to be super fragile when you're pulling it through a tight, twisting conduit?
You'd think so, but that's the problem they solved. The cable itself is incredibly lightweight and flexible. We're talking about a minimum bend radius of just 2 millimeters.
Wow. 2 millimeters.
Yeah, you can make super tight turns without ever worrying about damaging the optical fibers inside.
And they also fixed the #1 headache of pulling HDMI, that huge connector head.
Precisely. Anyone who's done this knows that pain. The Hyperlight cables have these removable HDMI docking connectors. You just detach it, and you're left with this tiny little micro HDMI Type D connector.
How small is it?
The cross-section is just 12.4 by 10 millimeters. It's small enough to fish through the tightest spaces. Then you pull it through, snap the rugged HDMI plug back on, and there's even a locking pin so it can't accidentally come unplugged.
So when you put it all together, what does it all mean? It seems like these Hyperlight cables just completely overcome the old limits of distance and interference by using that smart hybrid approach. They're solving these massive performance issues and at the same time making the actual install work way easier.
That's the core value, yeah. It's flawless reliability and guaranteed high performance over the longest runs you can imagine, and it's all backed by a 3-year warranty. It really raises an important question, though. Given all these benefits, the speed, the security, the ease of install, How quickly are we going to see this kind of hybrid technology replace copper, not just in those high-end jobs, but in, everyday commercial AV work too?
Something for you to think about as this technology keeps pushing what's possible. Thanks for diving deep with us.